Hi everybody, welcome back on this channel. My name is Glenna Manarang. Welcome to soulishfemme. If this is your first time tuning in, I would like to welcome you, and to those of you who are my returning subscribers and viewers, thank you for coming. Today is about ways to cultivate your femininity. Femininity is somehow the buzzword today in our YouTube. I don't know, I've been hearing this word femininity. So how can you cultivate your feminine essence? So to cultivate is to nurture, it's to actually take care. So it's about the doing, the feeling, keeping in touch with our five senses. If you don't know your five senses, probably you should have a basic fundamentals of what five senses are: sight, taste, your hear, your touch, your smell. So there are the five senses that we can actually tap into. And number one, of course, with no further ado, is heal from your wounds. Yes. In order for you to tap into your femininity, is you need to heal. Most of us as women, we carry a lot of baggage. We have traumas that we have endured throughout the years, from our childhood into our adolescence. And this is exactly why many of us function in our masculinity. We somehow have this combative energy. We like to control everybody else. This actually more than just what meets the eye. It's something that has been going on inside of you. You have this inner turmoil, this war that is happening inside of you, the trigger warnings, the triggers that can make you really self-sabotage, as well as sabotaging the people around you. So one point, of course, is the very important point that I would like to make, is to heal, is to really sit with your pain. As I always talk on my channel, it's about dealing with your traumas. It's not about running away from it, medicate, or try to ignore that it doesn't exist, because that's just going to escalate, and it's going to even much bigger dragon to handle eventually. So you have to take care of that. And that's why many people, as I always say, they run to substance abuse or addictions, because they rather want to numb their pain, pretend like I have no problem, I have no issues, instead of really dealing with it. Well, the truth will set you free according to Jesus. And number two is, of course, bring flowers to elevate your environment. Flowers, yes. Beauty in flowers, it exudes this way of serenity. When you look at flowers, it blossoms. It reminds us of this beauty and timelessness. It doesn't have this pretentious or hidden agenda. You see is what you get. Roses have thorns in them, but they also bud beautifully. They don't have to be pretentious. They don't have to have a facade or a mask to put on, because that's exactly how you can envelop this femininity essence, is that a bouquet of roses can elevate instantly your atmosphere and your environment. And actually, when you look at flowers, it reminds us of our fragility in life. Flowers are delicate, as well as being a feminine is delicate. It has its way of nurturing essence, and it has its way of just existing and filling up the room with colors and beauty. And of course, let's not linger there. Number three, to cultivate your femininity essence, is to, of course, light a scented candle or any aromatic fragrance that you would like to envelop or infuse in your living room, because that's exactly how you can also cultivate your femininity essence. There's a way that when you smell something that is pleasing to your nose, the sense of smell, it invokes this sense of, again, it's calmness and comfort. When you look at the candle, it also represents light. And of course, the moth is always going to be attracted to the light. If you have this femininity essence, people are gradually going to gravitate towards you. They're naturally going to have this being mesmerized of your femininity essence, because we do live in this world that there's too much toxic femininity. There's too much drama queens and women that are wounded and not yet healed. I truly believe that when you have this light that is coming from within you, it's just gonna naturally be exuded on the world to see. That's how exactly you know that you're tapping into your femininity. Majority of women, I believe that they don't have the light in them because they haven't taken the time, as said, to cultivate the kind of peace, and they don't have peace of mind and heart. They have not accepted their past. They haven't accepted who they are. And so when you light this candle, it reminds you of this illumination. It reminds you of this warmth and comfort. And of course, number 4 is plant. I love planting and repotting things. And as you know, I've been collecting plants and giving my living room different kinds of plants. I probably killed a lot of plants in my entire life, which sometimes when I overwater them or less water, or I don't put a lot of soil, plant and the soil, when you touch, don't get worried of getting your hands dirty. Soil is a reminder that anything that you plant is going to grow when you nurture it, when you cultivate. Just like a plant, we as a woman, we have to cultivate our femininity essence. We have to have tender loving care. We need to have oxygen to breathe. The same thing with a plant. It needs to have the kind amount of water. We also need water to replenish our soul, to replenish our body. We need to hydrate our skin as a woman. Just like a plant, we also have to have the amount of sunlight that touches our skin, the amount of sunlight, so that we can have the vitamin D. And so in essence, plant and the soil is a reminder that whatever you plant, it's going to grow if you take the time to take good care of it. So in the same way, when you want to cultivate your femininity, you have to take the time to nurture yourself, to really take care of your body. What do you need at this moment? Do you need rest? Do you need time for yourself? Do you need to recuperate from being ill or something that you're going through right now? Maybe there's a time for grieving. There's a time for you to just sit back and absolutely do nothing. The dolce far niente saying of the Italian, or the flaneur in French people, that just sometimes they get lost in their thoughts, or they just absolutely not getting distracted by so many things in this constantly stimulus. And number 5, of course, is to move your body. In order for you to tap into your femininity, you have to be open. We are so rigid and closed sometimes, and we are going to carry this heavy load on your back. So you have to learn to just stand straight. Your head is going to be like pulling up in the air, and you just have to know to move your body. Maybe you have to be dancing, maybe stretching, or one of the ways walking. That's something that can really make you open up, because as a woman, sometimes, as I said, we tend to hunch back when we are carrying too much heaviness, we're carrying too much burden, we have so much thoughts, and sometimes when we're thinking too much, it's going to exude in our body. That's why many women are rigid, and sometimes they are not standing straight. They are kind of like hunchback because of many years of stress, many years of detrimental thinking pattern that is not going to contribute to their well-being. So moving your body, as I love dancing, belly dancing, whatever it is that you prefer, jazz, ballet, things that can make your body really open up. It has this ability to make you fluid like the water. When you move your body, you're actually tapping into your femininity. That's something that, as a woman, when she moves her body, is something that exudes grace and elegance. And of course, number 6 is to rest. Yes, relax, rest, meditate. And I'm going to put this in the one category because it's important that as a woman, we like to do a lot of things. We have so much burden. We have so much on our plate. As a woman, when you're a wife, you're a mother, and at the same time you're a working mom, and you also have a career, you have a business to tackle. We have a lot on our plate. So as a woman, please allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to relax. Maybe you need to ask people for help in your home. As I said, if you cannot do everything, don't pretend like you can. You don't need to be the heroine. You have to learn to delegate tasks around you. If you have older children or your husband or some relative that can help you, that will be much better, because sometimes we think that we can just carry all this load as a woman, and this is why we are so depleted. And then the next thing you know, we are so bitter. We have become so angry, and we are snappy because we take too much load, and we cannot say no to people. Because as I said, if you are always going to be taking care of everybody else, you are not going to have so much time for yourself. And next thing you know, when you're sick, when a mama is sick, the whole place is going to just deteriorate, and it doesn't really function. Your house, when I get sick, it's not the same. Okay, there's laundry piling up, there's dishes piling up, there's too much going to be on hold, because when the mother is not the one who she's holding everything, a mother is the one who's always trying to cater to everybody's needs. But then if you don't really take the time to take care of yourself by listening to your body, maybe listening to a soothing music, going for a walk, going to nature, something that can really make you at peace with yourself, keeping in touch with yourself. It is not selfishness, it is self-care. We should stop as a woman feeling guilty, because men don't feel guilty. Do you see men feeling guilty for going play a golf or whatever hobbies they want to have in this lifetime? They don't feel guilty plunging in front of the TV for hours in, especially for football season, ladies. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So we also must allow, as a woman, to not feel guilty. It's also our duty, and we owe this too much to ourselves, to take care of our body, our mind, and our health, as I said, because without our health, it's pointless. You can have all the money in the world, but without your health, you are just going to just spend your time in the hospital bed, or living in constant chronic stress because you're not taking care of your body. And number 7, of course, is do what you love. So as a woman, in order for you to cultivate your femininity, you have to find a hobby that can ignite something of your feminine essence. That could be coloring. I like to color sometimes when I have time. Get pencils, crayons, or coloring book, or you want to paint or sculpture. I'm not sure the kind of hobbies. Read a book. Maybe you like to sing and dance, or whatever it is that ignites your femininity essence. That's something that you have to discover. That's something that you have to cultivate constantly, because as I said, when you're always trying to just ignore the things that you like, you have to cultivate the childlike spirit. We have to always remind ourselves that although we're a grown woman, a grown man, according to C.S. Lewis, we have to not neglect or ignore the childlike spirit. We still have to keep the childlike spirit, to be playful, to be curious about the world around us, to have this way of always trying to look at the world in a different way as a child, always learning, always absorbing, always observing things. But at the same time, we have to have a mind and a heart of an adult. Okay, we think like an adult, we talk like an adult, but we have to keep the childlike spirit, being playful. As I said, you always have to tap into the things that make you want to be a woman. Sometimes I like to walk barefoot, because sometimes there is something about connected to the earth, or maybe you're at the park, you take off your shoes and just walk and feel the grass around you, or whatever senses that can really ignite. Or sometimes you wear something that's make you want to feel flowy, like this dress I'm wearing. I wish you could see the whole body, but this is a flowy dress that you can actually also, do what you love, or wear what you love. Also is another point that I would like to make. Anything that can really accentuate your femininity essence, thus flowy dresses, maybe a material that is a satin, a silk, that is really something that is comfortable on your body. It feels good on your body. And of course, number 8, the last but not the least, to cultivate your femininity essence is to feed your body with good food, nourish your body with good beverages, eating lots of vegetables and fruits. Of course, I'm not very good at it. I get bored sometimes, because here's the thing. I grew up in the Philippines, where we have different kinds of fruits or seasons, and the fruits are not here available in the United States of America, unfortunately. But where I grew up, there's so many kinds of fruits, or varieties of fruits that I was brought up, and I was used of eating. And now, of course, when you go to the store, I'm not trying to be a complainer, but you see different kinds of fruits, but they're all the same. But different seasons, you try to eat fruit in a different season. Of course, you try to listen to your body's needs, especially that we're bombarded with advertisement. You see everything is McDonald's, or no pun intended, of course, or whatever it is, like a drive-through, because it's quick, it's easy, it's convenient. But at the same time, in the long term, it doesn't really contribute to our well-being. I'm not saying that you shouldn't indulge, you shouldn't eat them if you want to. I mean, moderation is always the key. As I always say on my channel, you can drink, but do not be drunk of wine. You can eat sweets, but do not indulge in it too much, that you're going to suffer eventually. You can have burgers, McDonald's, or Wendy's, or Taco Bell, whatever you prefer, at the same time, you cannot eat it every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Otherwise, you're going to be sick and you're going to pay for the price. So as I said, moderation is the key. I believe that when you really eat something that's good for your body is going to thank you for it. If you eat lots of fruits and vegetables, drink lots of water, it's going to show in your face. You don't even have to worry about getting the wrinkles or getting old, because if your body is actually lacking of nutrients and vitamins and the minerals that it needs, eventually it's going to show forth in your skin. It's going to show forth on your body. So that's why so many people, they wonder why they're aging, or their skin is look like a prune. It looks wrinkly because, or dry, because they do not hydrate. You learn to drink lots of water. I know for so many people, they hate drinking water. They do not enjoy drinking water. Nobody does, because it doesn't taste good. But whatever, maybe you put a little bit of lemon or anything that can enhance the flavor to it, as long as it's not artificial, it's natural flavoring. Maybe some people put cucumber in it to really make you want to drink the water. Anything that you do, as long as you're drinking and you are hydrating every day. I believe they say you need to have 8 glasses of water per day. That's how much water we need, because our body, when you really think about it, scientifically proven, it's 70% of our body is composed of water. So maybe you need to also eat fruits that has many water, that contains a lot of water, such as watermelon or cantaloupe, or anything that can really just want to make your skin soaked it and really want to just drink it in, because you are what you eat, according to what they say. So those are just some of the points that I would like you to make. But of course, the bonus point is that when you want to cultivate your femininity, is to attach with the divine, to really know your creator. As I said, you'll never know your femininity unless you know exactly who you are in Christ, who you are in God. Because I really believe that if you do not know who created you and what your life is going to be in this world, of what to be a woman should be like, without reading God's word, without knowing how a woman should act, there's so many things in the Bible that you can learn. Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs 31. This is the woman of perfection. I know I cannot be like her. I wish I could be this woman. So I have been reading the Proverbs 31, on and off. Sometimes I would go back in it and truly reflect of how does a woman functions. It says somewhere in the Bible that she is a woman with strength and dignity. She's a woman that really just doesn't worry about the external appearance, but she cultivate this inner woman in her. According to Peter, it says that do not just worry about your makeup, your hair, your jewelry, but also you have to cultivate the hidden woman in you. Gentleness and quietness, of course, is something that we all can learn, because as a woman, if we are too combative, we always want to argue, we like to just point what's wrong in people, and it's exhausting. We like to control, we like to nag. It's exhausting. And this is why sometimes as a woman, if we are trying to control about the stimulus outside, we are not functioning in our femininity, because femininity is just, she's receiving. She learns to let go. She receives. It is an art. It is something that you have to cultivate. I used to be a control freak because I came from a family who loves to control everything. But eventually, when you really learn about trying to control and try to maneuver everything, it is exhausting. Sometimes you just allow people, let them be, as long as they are not on your face, they are not contributing to your health, they are not being disrespectful. It's okay to have boundaries. That's what I said. Be careful the kind of people that you surround with, the people that you allow in your space, because that also can either hinder our femininity essence. There are people, of course, that are toxic, that maybe we should not cancel them, but limit our time with these people. When you know that these people are not helping us to be a better woman, and they are actually agitating us and contributing more problem than solution, then we have to really protect ourselves like a red velvet rope, according to, I don't know, Tanya Lee, who said this one. So also, remember that you have to protect yourself as a shield, as a jewelry in a box. You have to make sure that not everybody can have access to you. Not everybody is you cannot be easily available for everyone when it is not going to contribute to your happiness or to your well-being. You're not being selfish. Of course, it's about you protecting, and self-preservation is always the key, because as I said, if you are not functioning in the fullness of your well-being, you are not going to be happy. You are not going to have peace of mind and heart. You are just going to bring all this toxicity wherever you go. And people can just sense that when you don't have peace of mind, you're eventually going to have that kind of energy that you bring to the table or bring to the atmosphere wherever you go. So those are just the things that I would like you to think about. So please feel free to like, share, subscribe if you have not done so. I will see you on my next video. Toodles.